Hi there. We're going to talk about analogies really quick. Analogies are really fun. I kind of think of them as the ultimate word game because they force you to think about language in a very, very cool way, I'll just say. Um, and analogies are just pairs of words that share a relationship. Let's look at a few examples here. Let's start with up is to down, as left is to right. Up is to down, as left is to right. Now, when usually you don't see them completed like this, but when you do, you want to think, well, how are these related? And what you have is you have these little colons here. You have these two single colons and the double colons, and the double colons in general always mean as, and that's how it's used. And then in the language of analogies, the single colon means is to. So we could rewrite this analogy with up is to down as left is to right. But the problem with that is that is to, let's make that a little bit larger, and is to, they don't really tell you the relationship. They're just a generic kind of placeholder. And we don't want just generic placeholders. We want to have something that's a little more little more certain. So let's get rid of these guys here. And let's think about this. Let's see how we could stretch these out. And let's break them up into two sentences. Okay, let's take this first one. And let's imagine that we're going to grab this colon and we're going to expand it out here. And we're going to make a sentence that begins with the word up and ends with the word down. Okay, and this colon is going to represent what we can do to connect that. And the answer, of course, is going to be is the antonym of. Let's see if I can shrink that. There we go. Up is the antonym of down. Okay, that's what this colon represents. Is the antonym of. I don't need that. And let's copy, because what we can do is use that to figure out the same relationship over here. Let's draw this upside down just to be kind of fun. And let's see if we can paste. Here we go. Is the antonym of. And we can drop in our text here. Left. And then right. So just like up is the antonym of down, left is the antonym of right. So using similar principles, we can have a look at our second analogy. Let's see. Get the highlighter. Let's go blue. Memphis is to city as Illinois is to state. Same kind of process. Let's try to expand and figure out what this colon represents. It's not quite what it seems. Memphis city. Can you figure out what's probably gonna go in there? Pretty simple. Memphis is a city. That's not too hard. Then Illinois, again, is the exact same relationship. Illinois is a state. So in practice, though, what analogies look like are like this. You only get 3 words instead of the full 4. However, you approach them in much the same fashion. We can just draw a little box and put the word finger on one side and hand on the other. Finger, something, 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 hand. And our job is to figure out what that something is. So if you need to think about it for a second, go ahead and pause. But I'm going to say finger is a part of a hand. There we go. And then just for good measure, I can to make it somewhat grammatically correct, but it doesn't have to be perfect. A finger is a part of a hand. So that covers the first part of the analogy right there. So now we need to figure out this second part. What's going to go with toe? And to do that, we just draw our little box around the colon, and we take the same words. I'm just going to copy and then paste them and then drag them over here. It's a really large box. And I'll put a toe is a part of a, and let's just draw this here so I can capitalize on this side of the screen. And the answer is foot, obviously. So a toe is a part of a foot, so over here you'd say foot, and the complete analogy would be finger is to hand as toe is to foot. So if you were presented with that, your answer would be foot. Let's do one more for good measure. Teacher is to school as doctor is to... Oops, let's figure it out. First let's figure out the first half here. Okay, that's part 1, so we need to dissect this. And put in the box. Ooh, we're green this time. Sure. So what's the relationship? We can say a teacher. Ooh, that's green as well. It's all sorts of green. But it's a little bit hard to read. A school. A teacher, something, 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 a school. And the answer, of course, is works in. Teacher works in a school, among other places. Teacher also works at home, at coffee shop, in the car sometimes. Never know. So let's apply that to the second part. I think I'm back to orange. Yes. Draw the little box. And we're gonna... Now, of course, when it comes to reality, you're doing this in your head. You're not drawing little boxes. Of course, if you'd like to. There's nothing holding you back. So now we have to do a doctor works in... The answer is a hospital. Okay. Now, normally, analogies, you don't need to include the article, like I've done here. A hospital, a doctor, a school, a teacher. Analogies usually don't have them. So you would, of course, in this situation, just type, or write, more likely, hospital. So the complete analogy would be teacher is to school as doctor is to hospital. Okay, that's it for analogies. Thank you very much.